Some villages on our planet could inspire fantasy novels. They're nestled within breathtaking natural settings. Others are steeped in history, having endured through the centuries. These are one-of-a-kind masterpieces, shaped by the uniqueness of their locations and the brilliance of their architecture. Sometimes they're perched in extreme or hard-to-reach spots. Today, we set off on a journey to uncover the most beautiful villages in the world. Included are remote, lesser-known places, surrounded by natural wonders. Hallstatt, Austria. Rising along the western shore of Lake Hallstatter Sea, it feels like a place pulled from a dream. The lake shimmers in hues of blue and green, encircled by alpine peaks. Salt deposits beneath the surrounding mountains played a key role in its founding, bringing wealth since ancient times. The narrow valley and steep cliffs meant homes had to be built snugly between the slopes and the water. They appear to cling to the mountainside, using every bit of space available. Notable landmarks include the sharp-steepled Evangelical Church and, slightly higher up, the Catholic Church, surrounded by historic buildings. Most houses are built from wood and stone, featuring colorful facades and steep roofs, designed to withstand heavy winter snow. A waterfall visible behind the homes flows from the Mullbach stream, which winds through the village before emptying into the lake. Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. Widely regarded as one of the world's most stunning villages, thanks to its incredible setting. Known as the Valley of 72 Waterfalls, it takes its name from the many cascades plunging down its cliffs. Fed by melting snow and seasonal rain, the spectacle grows even more impressive in spring and summer. A young J.R.R. Tolkien visited the region and was so captivated that he used it as inspiration for Rivendell in The Lord of the Rings. Although tourism has reached the area, the village retains the charm of Swiss alpine culture, with wooden chalets and the sound of cowbells ringing through the air. Perast, Montenegro. Set in the Bay of Kotor, often described as a Mediterranean fjord, this village looks like something out of a painting. Perast lies along a narrow strip of coastline, with steep mountains behind it and the tranquil bay stretching out in front. Between the 15th and 18th centuries, it was part of the Republic of Venice, which left its mark in the form of palaces, churches, and bell towers. At one point, the village boasted 12 palaces built by families of captains and merchants. Just offshore, two small churches stand on separate islets. The artificial island of Our Lady of the Rocks was created by dropping stones and sinking old ships onto a reef. On the natural island of St. George, which is not open to visitors, there's a Benedictine monastery and a cemetery reserved for local nobility. Mandrakia, Greece. This tiny fishing village on the island of Milos belongs to the Cyclades archipelago. It consists of just a few seaside streets and homes. The houses feature sirmatas, small garages for fishing gear, either carved into or built at the base of the cliffs. According to tradition, each family used to paint their sirma a different color to spot it easily from the sea. Not far away lies Klima, nestled along a natural bay. In front of the houses, there's a coastal path and a calm sea with crystal clear waters. Positano, Italy. Located on the western stretch of the Amalfi Coast, near the Sorrento Peninsula, and facing the Tyrrhenian Sea. Legend has it that a ship carrying a painting of the Virgin Mary ran aground near the shore. The Virgin cried out, "Posa, posa!" Stop, stop, in Old Italian. Its romantic allure has made Positano a top destination for honeymoons and couples getaways. A zigzagging pedestrian street winds down from the upper part of the town to the beach area. Primosten, Croatia. Its origins date back to the Middle Ages, when locals sought shelter from Ottoman invasions along the Dalmatian coast. The town's center was built on an island, connected to the mainland by a drawbridge designed for defense. Around it, you'll find small coves and lush forests. Hamnøy and Rhine, Norway. These two-century-old fishing villages are tucked into the southern part of the Lofoten Islands. Hamnøy stands as one of the oldest settlements in the archipelago, once reachable only by boat. Rhine, set in a breathtaking location, often appears on postcards. It's become a symbol of Norway, thanks to its iconic red cabins along the pier. Towering above Rhine is Rheinbringen, a mountain accessible via a stone staircase. The path was built with help from Sherpas skilled in traditional Himalayan techniques. Though the hike is short, the steep incline makes it a challenging climb. Grindelwald, Switzerland. Nestled in the Grindelwald Valley, it sits at the foot of towering alpine peaks. Though first mentioned in 1146, it didn't gain fame until the 19th century, during the golden age of mountaineering. The area is surrounded by green meadows, conifer forests, and sheer cliffs. Locals say the architecture with its dark wooden homes wraps visitors in a cozy and inviting atmosphere. It's common to see cows grazing freely in nearby fields during the warmer months. Just outside the village center, a cable car offers access to scenic viewpoints and mountain activity zones. Grindelwald First, a nearby summit, is one of the most frequently visited peaks. Mürren, Switzerland. Perched on a cliffside, it offers a one-of-a-kind view of the Lauterbrunnen Valley and its dazzling peaks. Accessible only by cable car or mountain train. Nature blends seamlessly with traditional alpine architecture. Steep pitched roofs, typical of the Swiss highlands, are built to withstand harsh winters and retain warmth inside. Oia, Greece. Santorini in the Aegean Sea is known for its striking blue and white buildings. To reach the village of Oia, you climb a series of steps starting from the town of Amudi. The homes are built along dramatic cliffs. Originally the dwellings of fishermen, today they're prized for their charm and ocean views. Wandering through its winding streets feels like stepping into a postcard brought to life. Small shops line the paths, adding to the strong sense of peace and serenity. Ouray, United States. Nicknamed the Switzerland of America due to its resemblance to the European country. Surrounded by the San Juan Mountains, part of the Rocky Mountain Range. Its steep slopes bring to mind the Swiss Alps, as do its wide, green valleys. Rain and melting snow feed waterfalls cascading down the rugged peaks. Bear Creek pours straight from the cliff's edge. Meanwhile, rivers flow just beyond the town's limits. Burano, Italy. This charming island and village sit in the Venetian lagoon, It's known for its brackish water canals lined with bright-colored houses. For centuries, it benefited from Venice's expansive trade networks. Fishermen painted their homes in vivid hues to distinguish them through the misty mornings at sea. The leaning bell tower of Burano's Church of San Martino draws attention, resembling a smaller version of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Paraty, Brazil. Famous for its remarkably preserved colonial center and the dense Atlantic forests surrounding it. Located along the so-called Green Coast, between the cities of Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. It was founded in the early 17th century by the Portuguese as part of their colonization of Brazil's coastline. Located along the so-called Pé de Moleque, preserved alongside white colonial buildings. An interesting detail? During high tide, seawater floods some streets, serving as a natural cleaning system. Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain. This Andalusian village is renowned for its astonishing cave houses. They're nestled within the narrow canyon carved over millennia by the Treo River, forming a winding valley. Homes and buildings adapt to the hillsides and, in many cases, merge directly into the rock. Some streets feature houses built right beneath massive stone overhangs. These dwellings retain the moisture and temperature of the stone, staying cool in the summer and mild in the winter. Trani, Italy. Located on the Amalfi Coast, this village is among the smallest in the country. It sits at the mouth of the Dragon Valley, which runs from the coastal mountains down to the Tyrrhenian Sea. Homes are arranged vertically, linked by paths and staircases across different levels. The Church of Santa Maria Maddalena sits atop a small terrace that juts out above the sea and the village below. Henningsvær, Norway. This fishing village is part of the Lofoten Islands. It stretches across several small islets, accessible only by bridges or boat. For centuries, the region's wealth came from cod fishing, especially during winter, when large fish schools swam into the frigid northern waters. Traditional buildings are typically painted in shades of red, yellow, or white. One of the town's standout features is a football field surrounded by natural rock terraces. Gondria, Switzerland. Situated on the shores of Lake Lugano, this village has served for centuries as a passageway for traders and travelers moving between Switzerland and Italy. It clings to the slope of Monte Bre, dropping steeply down toward the lake. The historic center is a maze of narrow alleys, stone stairways, and archways. Many of the homes dating back to the 18th and 19th centuries are built right at the water's edge. Santa Maddalena, Italy. These rolling meadows, paired with a dramatic mountain backdrop, are part of the Funes Valley in the Dolomites region. The village gets its name from the church dedicated to Saint Mary Magdalene. Legend says that centuries ago, an image of the saint kept appearing in the spot where the church now stands. Kora, Greece. This town is the capital of Mykonos, one of the Cycladic Islands. Kora is the traditional name for the capitals of Greek islands in the Aegean Sea. It's a maze of cobblestone streets and whitewashed houses, with brightly colored doors and shutters. The town is dotted with dozens of small churches. Little Venice is the area where homes are built directly over the water. It's believed that the district was built in the 18th century by Venetian merchants, with the houses doubling as storage for goods. Chefchaouen, Morocco. Now a major tourist destination, it blends Arab, Berber, and Andalusian cultures. After the fall of Granada in 1492, many Moriscos and Hispano-Arabic Jews sought refuge in the region, leaving behind cultural and architectural influences. The historic district, or Medina, is made up of narrow streets, with stairs and ramps that follow the mountain slope. It's believed that Sephardic Jews painted the walls blue as a symbol of the sky and the divine. Another theory suggests the blue paint helps repel mosquitoes or reduce heat by reflecting sunlight. Ushguli, Georgia. Considered one of the highest continually inhabited settlements in Europe. It's not a single village, but rather a community of medieval hamlets. Due to rugged terrain and snow cover for much of the year, Ushguli and nearby villages remain isolated for centuries. Today, locals are involved in rural tourism, offering lodging to visitors interested in hiking and mountain adventures. The stone towers, or koshki, built between the 9th and 13th centuries, were part of a defensive system against potential invaders. San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. Before 2008, it was recognized as a Pueblo Mágico by the Mexican government and later declared a World Heritage Site. It holds a key place in Mexico's independence movement, as Ignacio Allende, one of its leaders, was born there. The town center showcases colonial architecture, with buildings in Baroque and neoclassical styles. The parish of San Miguel Arcangel is a defining landmark inspired by European churches. yet reimagined in a style all its own. Etza, France. Perched on a hilltop, it offers stunning views of the Mediterranean Sea, Nice, and Monaco. Often described as an eagle's nest, it resembles a great bird of prey's lookout, dominating the coast. In the Middle Ages, it was controlled by various feudal lords and, at times, belonged to the House of Savoy. The historic quarter is a maze of winding lanes, stone staircases, and vaulted passages. Alberobello, Italy. This small town is famous for its unique structures, known as trulli. They are round or square buildings with conical roofs, built using a traditional dry stone stacking technique. One theory claims local counts required the houses to be easily dismantled to avoid paying taxes to the Kingdom of Naples. Marsaxlokk, Malta. Famous for its colorful boats and bustling fish market. The name Marsaxlokk has Arabic roots, though some suggest Phoenician or Punic influences as well. Lutzas, the traditional Maltese fishing boats, are brightly painted in folkloric colors and easily spotted at sea. Their bows often feature the eyes of Osiris or Horus, a tradition tied to ancient Phoenician and Egyptian superstitions. Ronda, Spain. Perched above a deep gorge that separates the old town from the new. In the early modern period, aristocratic families and the church spurred the construction of churches, palaces, and grand buildings. The so-called New Church was built between 1759 and 1793, following several earlier attempts that collapsed. Since the 18th century, the mountains of Ronda have served as a haven for bandits and riders, inspiring tales of a mysterious and picturesque Andalusia. Lambertezzo, Switzerland. Located in the Verzasca Valley, in the Italian-speaking region of Switzerland. At the heart of the village stands the Church of Our Lady of the Angels. The iconic Jump Bridge was partially destroyed by a flood in 1868 and later restored in the 20th century. The Vrzaska River, with its emerald green and crystal clear waters, winds through the valley, carving rock channels and gorges. Spies, Switzerland. Admired for its lakeside castle and hillside vineyards. It's one of the few alpine villages where wine is produced in notable quantities, using local grapes. The castle dates back to the 10th century, though it has been altered over time. Directly across from Spies rises Mount Neesen, shaped like an almost perfect triangle. Saint-Symphorien, Switzerland. Set in the Lavaux region, this wine-producing village sits on the shore of Lake Geneva. It's surrounded by terraced vineyards that slope gently down toward the lake. Over the centuries, it passed through various ecclesiastical jurisdictions and prospered thanks to the construction of wine cellars. Rocamadour, France. Perched on a cliffside overlooking the Alzeux River Valley, the village is arranged in tiers at different heights, with stone houses and narrow alleys. Some homes are built directly into the cliff face, giving the place the look of a vertical fortress. In the 12th and 13th centuries, large numbers of pilgrims came to venerate the Virgin of Rocamadour and pray for miracles. Dürnstein, Austria. Located along a stretch of the Danube where the river carves a narrow valley lined with vineyards and forests. Having a fortress here was strategic for overseeing and safeguarding trade routes that crossed the river. The area's microclimate, moderate summers and mineral-rich soils, is perfect for growing grapes. Legend has it that King Richard the Lionheart of England was imprisoned in his castle under the watch of Duke Leopold V of Austria. Maratea, Italy. Known as the City of 44 Churches due to its abundance of temples, chapels, and hermitages. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, it maintained an agricultural and seafaring character, with limited land connections. Atop the mountain stands a statue of Christ, sculpted in 1965 by Bruno Innocenti. Polis de Candelaria, Spain. On the island of La Palma, this coastal village sits within a vast sea cave, with houses built by fishermen. Stories say that centuries ago, the cave served as a hideout during pirate raids along the coast. Local fishermen found shelter here from Atlantic swells, and a convenient place to fish. The houses make use of the rock's natural cavities as walls and roofs. Marcotte, Switzerland. Set on the shore of Lake Lugano, it features traditional architecture and a romantic atmosphere. Lake Lugano is also known as Serratio, a Latin name referencing its long, branching shape. The village climbs from the water's edge up the hillside, with cobbled alleys and stairways leading to the church. Its proximity to the Lombardy region brought Renaissance-era artists and merchants who enriched the local arts. The lake's influence and southern Swiss location give Marcotte a microclimate perfect for palms and Mediterranean vegetation. Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Germany. One of the best preserved medieval towns in the country. Much of its original 14th century walls still stand today. It has remained virtually unchanged for centuries, making it especially appealing to history enthusiasts. Cobblestone streets and timber-framed buildings in various colors define its medieval and Renaissance architecture. The Town Hall Tower symbolized Rothenburg's power and status as an imperial outpost of the Holy Roman Empire. Monsanto, Portugal. This village sits atop a massive slab of magma that cooled and solidified beneath the Earth's surface. Giant boulders are astonishingly integrated into the homes. Rather than removing them, residents built around the rocks. Some serve as natural roofs, others form part of the walls. Stone-paved streets weave their way between these immense granite blocks. Gujo Hachiman, Japan. A historic town in the country's central region. Nestled in a mountain valley, it's known as the City of Water, thanks to the convergence of the Yoshida Nagara and Kodara rivers. A network of small canals flows through the village, supplying clean water to its residents. The clarity of the water allows koi carp to thrive in the streams. The town developed around Gujo Hachiman Castle, built in the 16th century by feudal lord Endo Morikazu. Edo-style houses feature tiled roofs and wooden facades. Kotor, Montenegro. Tucked at the end of the Bay of Kotor, it's protected by medieval walls and surrounded by rugged mountain scenery. Inhabited since Roman times, it rose to prominence in the Middle Ages as a vital maritime trading hub. Its strategic location made Kotor both a commercial and military stronghold, prompting the construction of fortified defenses. Most buildings blend stonework with Venetian-style details, reflecting the long rule of the Republic of Venice. Inside, it's a maze of cobbled alleys and small plazas filled with churches, ancient palaces, and red-roofed stone houses. Nepal, then Java, Indonesia. Homes are arranged in tiers along the slopes of Mount Sumbing, evoking the look of Himalayan villages. The community is predominantly Muslim, like much of Java. For decades, locals have relied on subsistence farming, with the mountain providing water and fertile soil. Iselwald, Switzerland. Set beside Lake Brienz, flanked by mountains and traditional chalets. Believed to have started as a fishing and farming settlement. On a peninsula that juts into the lake stands a 19th century mansion. The lake's turquoise hue comes from minerals carried by glacial meltwater that feeds it. Zermatt, Switzerland. Located in the canton of Valais, this alpine village sits beneath the Matterhorn. It gained recognition in the mid-19th century when British climbers began scaling the surrounding peaks. Among them, the Matterhorn stands out with its iconic pyramid shape. In winter, it transforms into a premier ski resort, with numerous slopes. The area's alpine climate brings heavy snowfall, making skiing possible through fall, winter, and much of spring. Kragero, Norway. Located in the south of the country, this town is sometimes called the Pearl of the Coast. It's made up of around 495 islands, islets, and reefs. Since the 17th century, it served as a port for exporting timber to various European nations. Some wooden houses are protected for their historical and architectural significance. Banff, Canada. Nestled in the heart of the Canadian Rockies, in Alberta's region. It's encircled by towering mountains and valleys, shaped by ancient glaciers. The discovery of hot springs in the 19th century sparked the area's development. To attract wealthy tourists from eastern Canada and Europe, the Canadian Pacific Railway built luxurious hotels. Fishing village of Ine, Japan. found in Kyoto Prefecture. It's known for a row of wooden houses called Funaya. It's believed that Ine had been inhabited for centuries, with locals devoted to fishing and mountain farming. The narrow strip between the sea and mountain led to homes being built practically at water level. Standing on stilts, they have two stories, one for boats and another for living space. Bellagio, Italy. Nicknamed the Pearl of Lake Como, it's famous for panoramic views of the lake and the Alps. In the Middle Ages, it was ruled by several families, becoming a summer retreat for the wealthy. During the 19th century, the lake's beauty captivated aristocratic families, inspiring them to build villas surrounded by botanical gardens. Giethoorn, Netherlands. Known as the Venice of the Netherlands, instead of roads, it features canals and graceful arched bridges. Boats are the main form of transportation. Rows of houses face directly onto the waterways. Some sit on tiny private islands, each with its own dock. Albarracin, Spain. Regarded as one of Spain's most beautiful villages for its medieval skylines, city walls, and traditional architecture. An Islamic-era wall surrounds the village. At the top, the Torre del Andador provided sweeping views of the area. In the 12th century, after the Reconquista, Albarracin became an independent territory, linked to the crowns of Aragon and Castile. Gimmelwald, Switzerland. Set in the Lauterbrunnen Valley, within the canton of Bern. It lies on a natural terrace overlooking the peaks of Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau. Unlike other villages with structured streets, Grimmelwald's homes are scattered across natural ledges. Permanent residences mix with shelters and cabins used for livestock. Beilstein, Germany. Located along the Moselle River, it's nicknamed the Sleeping Beauty of the Moselle. Its medieval charm has made it a filming location for historical and fantasy movies. The river winds in broad loops, at times nearly encircling entire hills. From above, the ruins of Metternich Castle watch over the historic center. Füssen, Germany. Situated at the southern tip of the country, close to the Austrian border. It rose to prominence in the 15th and 16th centuries for crafting lutes and violins, becoming one of Europe's leading luthier centers. Legend has it that Fussen's landscape inspired composer Richard Wagner. Hohes Schloss, built atop a rocky ridge, served for centuries as the residence of the Prince Bishops of Augsburg. Just outside Füssen lies Neuschwanstein Castle, constructed by King Ludwig II of Bavaria. Geiranger, Norway. Nestled within the Geiranger Fjord along Norway's western coast. For generations, farmers lived on the steep slopes of the fjord. Accessible only by foot or boat, many farms were abandoned due to the harsh, isolated conditions. As river and sea transport evolved, it became a stopover for vessels navigating the fjords. Tourism began in the 20th century, when steamships brought in foreign travelers enchanted by the scenery. Several waterfalls plunge from the cliffs above, including the famed Seven Sisters, and the Suitor. Shirakawa-go, Japan. A rare example of traditional rural Japanese architecture, where centuries-old homes still stand. For many years, the village remained cut off due to heavy snowfall and rugged mountain terrain. Its houses feature steep thatched roofs, resembling two hands pressed together in prayer. Český Krumlov, Czech Republic. Celebrated for its well-preserved medieval core and grand fortress. Homes showcase Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles, decorated with frescoes and ornamental carvings. At the center lies Fornosti Square, home to guild buildings and the town hall. The Vltava, the Czech Republic's longest river, winds through the town. Its castle complex is the country's second largest, after Prague Castle. Seyðisfjörður, Iceland. Located in Iceland's eastern fjords, it's surrounded by steep, rugged mountains. Until the mountain road was built, the town remained cut off from the rest of the country. It began to gain importance in the late 19th century, when Norwegian fishermen and traders settled in the area. Today, it serves as the arrival port for the ferry linking Iceland with Denmark and the Faroe Islands. Forolio, Switzerland. This picturesque hamlet is known for the dramatic waterfall that pours from the Kalnegia River. It lies in the Bavona Valley, within the canton of Ticino, in the Italian-speaking south of Switzerland. Slate roofs were built to withstand harsh winters and heavy rainfalls. Not far from Foroglio is Sonono, where rustic stone houses and nearly untouched nature exist. Barichara, Colombia. A colonial village set in Colombia's Andean region. often praised as the country's most beautiful town for its peaceful charm and striking appearance. Its historic center follows a grid pattern, with streets that rise and fall along the hills. The main square and church are the heart of the town's cultural and spiritual life. Fenghuang, China. Known as the Phoenix Town, it's a historic village in China's Hunan province. For generations, it has been a cultural crossroads for various ethnic groups, shaping local architecture and traditions. The Tuo River flows through the Old Town, where wooden stilt houses line its banks. Long ago, locals believed a water spirit lived in the river, watching over the community. Rovinj, Croatia. Located on the Istrian Peninsula, alongside the Adriatic Sea, it stands out for its Venetian-influenced architecture. Until the 18th century, the historic center was an island, but urban expansion led to the canal being filled in. Many homes sit right at the water's edge, painted in pastel shades, reds, and yellows. The streets are narrow and sometimes sloped. At the top of the village, the Baroque-style Basilica of Saint Euphemia overlooks the town. Monemvasia, Greece. This fortress town lies on the southeastern coast of the Peloponnese Peninsula. It was built atop an islet that once sat apart from the mainland. Its cliffs and elevated plateau made it a natural stronghold. Within the lower town's walls, a maze of cobbled alleys and stone houses remains intact. Seixal, Portugal. On the Atlantic shore of Madeira Island, its coastline features stunning cliffs draped in subtropical forests. Volcanic soil richness attracted the island's earliest settlers. Surrounding the village are gardens and terraced pots, showcasing Madeira's traditional farming methods. Beside the town lies a rare black sand beach, one of the few found on the island. Tobermory, United Kingdom. The main town on the Isle of Mull, built around a natural harbor that shields it from Atlantic waves. Its main street runs parallel to the sea, while side lanes climb the hillside to the upper part. A local legend claims that in 1588, a Spanish Armada galleon sank in the bay, allegedly carrying a vast treasure. Visby, Sweden. Set on the western coast of Gotland, Sweden's largest island in the middle of the Baltic Sea. It had Viking settlements and began growing as a trade hub in the 12th century. The town is enclosed by the best preserved medieval wall in the Baltic region, complete with towers and gates that once kept intruders out. Wairebo, Indonesia. In East Nusa Tenggara Province, on the island of Flores, lies the village known for its cone-shaped houses. It's believed that the founders arrived centuries ago from other parts of the archipelago, choosing this site for its fertile land and natural springs. The village preserves 7 large homes, each symbolizing a clan. If one is lost, the community comes together to rebuild and uphold the sacred number. Husavik Island. According to Icelandic sagas, this town was among the island's first Viking settlements. It's known as the whale-watching capital due to the wide range of cetaceans spotted in its bay. Species like humpbacks, fin whales, and minks can often be seen. Whaling was vital to Husavik's and much of the nation's economy during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Over time, however, the town evolved into a hub of marine wildlife tourism. Sankt Gilgen, Austria. Positioned on the northwest shore of Lake Wolfgang, just east of Salzburg. Early settlers relied on fishing, forest timber, and livestock for their livelihood. By the late 19th century, members of the Austro-Hungarian royal family and Viennese aristocracy built summer homes here. A cable car takes visitors up to Zwölferhorn, a mountain offering panoramic views of the lake and the Alps. Oda, Norway. Found at the end of Sorfjorden, an offshoot of Hardangerfjord. It serves as a popular gateway for adventurers heading to Trolltunga. In the 20th century, its rivers and waterfalls provided abundant hydroelectric power, driving industrial growth. Uzungul, Turkey. This village sits nestled in a valley within the Black Sea region. Its lake was formed when landslides blocked the Haldizen River, creating a natural reservoir. Surrounded by forested mountains, thick pines, and frequent mist, the area enjoys a cool, damp climate. Sidi Bou Said, Tunisia. Perched atop a hill overlooking the Bay of Tunis and the Mediterranean Sea. It stands as a symbol of Tunisian Mediterranean charm and a cultural magnet that has drawn artists and travelers for over a century. During the French Protectorate, it served as a summer retreat for the local aristocracy and wealthy Europeans. Tiradentes, Brazil. This colonial town lies in the mountains of Minas Gerais state. It emerged from gold exploration in the late 17th century and early 18th centuries. Named in honor of Tiradentes, a national hero known for leading Brazil's first serious push for independence from the Portuguese crown. Damme, Belgium. Located northeast of Bruges, it's connected to the city by the Damse-Vath Canal. The area is part of a deltaic region known for its polders and waterways. Back in the 13th century, it served as a major port and seaward access for Bruges. At its entrance stands the Schelmol windmill, built in 1867, once used to grind grain. Kanal ob Sochi, Slovenia. Situated in the Socha River Valley, within the Gorička region in western Slovenia. At its center is a medieval arched bridge that has been restored several times. The main square is modest in style, with a church and low-rise municipal buildings. Soufrière, Saint Lucia. Set along the Caribbean Sea on the island's southwest coast, this colorful town has a rich backdrop. It was founded in the 18th century during French colonization, named after the sulfur produced by volcanic activity. A seaside promenade and streets blend modern structures with traditional wooden houses. Soufrière's colonial-style Catholic church stands in sharp contrast to the lush tropical scenery. From many coastal spots and high vantage points, the iconic Piton Peaks rise in view. Nin, Croatia. Regarded as one of the oldest towns in the country. Its historic center stands on a small island, connected to the mainland by two stone bridges. In the 9th century, Nin served as the first capital of the Croatian kingdom, where several kings were crowned. The Church of the Holy Cross stands out, known as the world's smallest cathedral. Monschau, Germany. Famous for its well-preserved old town, timber-framed houses, and medieval castle. It thrived during the 17th and 18th centuries thanks to woolen cloth and textile production. Traditional homes in the historic district feature wooden beams, whitewashed walls, and slate roofs. The peaceful Ruhr River winds through the village, flanked by retaining walls and quaint bridges. Bacharach, Germany. Surrounded by vineyards and dominated by a medieval castle in the western part of the country. Located on the left bank of the Rhine, it's nestled among steep hills filled with vines and forests. Parts of the town are still encircled by ancient medieval walls. The poet Victor Hugo once praised Baccarat's charm and scenery in his writing On the Rhine. Amden, Switzerland. Perched high above Lake Whalen in a scenic alpine setting. The arrival of cable cars and mountain roads improved access, attracting visitors especially from Zurich. Near the hamlet of Betlis, the Sierenbach Falls plunge down a steep rock face beside the lake. Comprising 3 cascading sections, they total more than 600 meters, or 1,900 feet in height. Wengen, Switzerland. Situated on a natural ledge above Lauterbrunnen Valley, with sweeping views of the Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau peaks. Once a small village of farmers and herders who relied on alpine pastures, access is mainly via a cogwheel train that departs from the Lauterbrunnen. Many buildings retain the early 20th century style, from the era when mountain tourism first gained popularity. Berglen, Switzerland. Known as the birthplace of William Tell, legend says he was the Swiss hero who defied the Habsburg rulers and sparked the Cantonal Uprising. Many homes are wooden, featuring flower-filled balconies. Arlberg, Switzerland. Its grand fortress dominates both the townscape and the Aare River. Traditional homes display a Swiss-German architectural style on their facades. The Aare curves gracefully around the rocky hill where the stronghold stands. Kaverno, Switzerland. A village perched in the upper Valle Maggia, encircled by steep gorges. For generations, residents lived off livestock and subsistence farming. It preserves the character of Ticino's mountain towns, with stone houses and slate roofs. San Sebastián del Oeste, Mexico. Set amidst the natural splendor of Mexico's Sierra Madre Occidental. Founded around 1605, it grew from silver mining and the extradition of other precious metals, drawing in Spanish settlers. As the mines declined in the 19th century, economic activity faded, leaving the town seemingly frozen in time. Santa Fe de Antioquia, Colombia. This town, founded in the 16th century, remains in excellent condition. For much of the colonial era, it served as the capital of Antioquia province, until the seat was moved to Medellín in 1826. Preservation laws require that new buildings blend with the colonial style. Not far away stands the Puente de Occidente, once one of the longest suspension bridges in Latin America. Flåm, Norway. Nestled along the Arlen Fjord, a branch of the vast Sognefjord. Its enchanting setting has inspired famous fairy tales. Home to just a few hundred residents, it sees thousands of visitors per day during peak season. Nearby is Stegastein, a viewing platform that juts out over the void, offering panoramic fjord views. It's part of the National Tourist Routes, a program highlighting Norway's most breathtaking spots. The Flåm Railway, or Flåmsbana, connects Myrdal Station with Flåm. The route winds through Flamsdalen Valley, a canyon lined with green meadows and flowing streams. In about an hour, the train passes through mountains, valleys, and scattered farms. With a 55% gradient, it ranks among the steepest railways in the world. Along the way, waterfalls burst from the cliffs, surging especially in spring or after heavy rains. Nusfjord. found on the Flakstøya, one of the main islands in the Lofoten archipelago. It's among Norway's oldest and best preserved fishing villages. Tucked within a narrow fjord, it enjoys a naturally sheltered harbor. Floating pens in the area are used for salmon farming. Their design allows fresh fjord water to flow continuously, bringing in oxygen. Salmon are raised in these waters for 12 to 24 months, until they reach ideal harvesting size. Nesso, Italy. Located on the shores of Lake Como in the Lombardy region. The village stretches across steep slopes with patches of forest, vineyards, and olive groves. The Church of Saints Peter and Paul stands as a central landmark. A stone bridge spans a ravine, flanked by houses built near the water. Dolce Acqua, Italy. Surrounded by hills and vineyards, it's long attracted artists like Claude Monet, drawn by its charm and past. The medieval bridge over the Nervia River is the village's emblem. Claude Monet called it a jewel of light and harmony. Atop the hill stands the ancient fortress once held by the powerful Doria family. Monterosso al Mare, Italy. One of the 5 villages forming Cinque Terre along the eastern Riviera in Liguria. It's split into 2 sections, the Old Town and the modern area. Unlike the others nearby, it boasts wide beaches and a seafront promenade. The Monterosso train station sits just steps from the water, offering easy beach access. Rio Maggiore, Italy. The easternmost of the Cinque Terre, located in Liguria, in northwestern Italy. Its marina consists of a small dock and a sheltered cove, where fishing and leisure boats are often moored. Homes include a space known as fondi, used for storing fishing gear or as wine cellars, while the upper floors serve as living quarters. Access is typically via the railway line connecting La Spezia and Genoa, and during spring and summer, ferries link Rio Maggiore to neighboring villages. Vernazza, Italy. Tucked between vineyard-covered cliffs, it features a tiny natural harbor opening into the Ligurian Sea. Geographic isolation lasted until the train arrived in the 19th century. That late connection helped preserve both local architecture and culture. Varenna, Italy. Nestled along the eastern shore of Lake Como, right in the heart of Lombardy. Ferries and boats cross the lake, linking Varenna with other lakeside towns. With the advent of rail travel and elite tourism, it became a popular gateway for Italians and foreign guests alike. Later on, it drew painters and writers, seeking inspiration from its scenery, serenity, and narrow streets. Sirmione, Italy. Spanning a strip of land on a peninsula that stretches into Lake Garda. Some historians claim Dante Alighieri visited during his exile, captivated by the lake and by its fortress. In the 13th and 14th centuries, the Scaligere family built the Scalghero Castle at the town's entrance, fortifying the peninsula. Its moat-like design gives it the look of a water-bound stronghold, and it's one of Italy's best-preserved castles. Cefalù, Italy. Famed for its colorful seaside houses and the towering rocky hill that defines its skyline. In the 9th century, it was occupied by the Arabs, and in the 11th, the Normans arrived and built the cathedral. Along the coast stand centuries-old homes with stone walls and balconies above the water. Facing the village, the Tyrrhenian Sea laps against a narrow sandy beach. Portofino, Italy. famous for its colorful seaside homes, exclusive vibe, and lush greenery on the surrounding hills. The natural harbor has a semicircular shape, embraced by low mountains that shield it from strong winds. Starting in the 19th century, European aristocrats took notice of the area's scenic charm, and by the 20th century, it was a retreat for noble families, artists, and celebrities. Facing the Mediterranean, the multi-story houses are painted in soft pastel tones that reflect across the water. Cervo, Italy. Its historic quarter rests atop a hill that rises from the coastline. The church was built with funds earned from coral fishing. Below the town are small beaches and coves, with either fine sand or pebbles. Castelmezzano, Italy. It stands out for its dramatic location nestled among jagged rock formations. Legend says early settlers chose these cliffs as shelters from the Saracen invasions. Nocera Umbra, Italy. This village lies on the gentle slopes of the Apennines. Its medieval core is well preserved, full of narrow alleys and heritage buildings. The setting is mountainous, near the Topino River, which nurtures local vegetation and fertile land. Matera, Italy. Best known for its sassi, dwellings carved directly into the rock. It has been continuously inhabited since prehistoric times, with cave homes dating back some 9,000 years. By the mid-20th century, it was viewed as a symbol of deep poverty, leading to the evacuation of many residents. With its primeval appearance, the town has been used as a film set for biblical or medieval stories. Calcutta, Italy. Its elevated position atop a rocky cliff provided natural protection, removing the need for defensive walls. In the 1930s, residents began to leave, fearing landslides on the volcanic slopes. Later, starting in the 1960s, the village was repopulated by artists and free spirits. Polignano a Mare, Italy. Perched on a cliff overlooking the Adriatic Sea. It's filled with caves and grottos carved by time, some of which can be visited by boat. Whitewashed houses seem to hang right on the edge of the precipice. Lama Monticello Beach, nestled between cliffs, is reachable through a path in the old town. San Gimignano, Italy. This historic medieval village is nicknamed the City of Beautiful Towers. Of the 72 tower houses that stood in the Middle Ages as symbols of wealth and influence, 14 remain today. Its striking skyline has earned it the titles Medieval Manhattan or Tuscan Manhattan. In earlier times, it was known for its prized saffron, a cornerstone of medieval cuisine. Alleghe, Italy. Famous for Lake Alleghe and its setting beneath the towering Dolomite peaks. Along the lakefront, cafes, benches, and scenic lookouts offer views of the landscape. Mount Civette is nicknamed the Wall of Walls by climbers. At higher elevations, permanent ice fields and glacial lakes still exist. You can witness the alpenglow, a phenomenon where the rocks blush with pink hues at dawn or dusk. Chamonix, France. Encircled by dramatic peaks like Mont Blanc and Aiguille du Midi, it's considered the birthplace of modern mountaineering. The first ascent of Mont Blanc in 1786 sparked a passion for climbing in the region. The mountain's allure and the arrival of thrill-seeking travelers turned Chamonix into a gathering spot for climbers and hoteliers. In winter, alpine and backcountry skiing takes center stage. In summer, it's all about hiking and mountaineering. Soaring into the clouds, the Aiguille du Midi cable car reveals panoramic views of this alpine wonderland. Saint-Bien, France. Nestled near the Spanish border, surrounded by the Pyrenees Mountains. The village is centered around the Garonne River and the road that winds through the valley. Its castle and fortifications date back to the Middle Ages, built to oversee the Pyrenean Pass. La Roque-Guajac, France. Tucked between a cliffside and the banks of the Dordogne River, in the heart of Nouvelle-Aquitaine. In 1957, a massive rockfall devastated much of the village, leading to a major rebuilding effort. Éguisheim, France. Its historic core is laid out in a circular pattern with rings that wrap around the central area. Homes are painted in cheerful colors and typically rise 2 or 3 stories high. Storks are a common sight, nestling atop church roofs or perched on tall poles. Gordes, France. Set near the Luberon Mountains, it has become one of Provence's most popular destinations. Surrounding valleys bloom with vineyards, olive groves, and lavender fields that peak in midsummer. The chateau, which also serves as the town hall, blends medieval foundations with Renaissance features. Nearby, the Senonque Abbey is framed by iconic lavender fields typical of the region. La Turbie, France. Overlooking the French Riviera with sweeping views of the Mediterranean, it partly borders the Principality of Monaco. The village is encircled by the Maritime Alps, which slope gently toward the sea. This area once formed part of an ancient Roman road, linking Italy to Gaul. Kaysersberg, France. Set amid rolling hills and vineyards along the Alsace wine route. Its cobblestone lanes lead to a central square that anchors the town. A medieval castle crowns the hill, built by feudal lords of the Holy Roman Empire. Moustiers-Sainte-Marie, France. Set before a natural canyon framed by two towering rock walls with a stream running through. It's located near the Verdon Gorge, one of the deepest canyons in Europe. Its strategic position once served as a medieval stronghold, shielding monks and farmers from invaders and bandits. Saint-Paul-de-Vence, France. Originally founded as a medieval fortress to oversee trade routes connecting inland Provence to the coast. In the 16th century, King Francis I ordered defensive walls to be built around the village to guard against invasions and religious strife. By the 20th century, it had become a haven for artists like Marc Chagall, Matisse, and Picasso, drawn by the Mediterranean light and peaceful setting. The Old Town's narrow winding cobblestone streets weave between tile-roofed houses and Bougainville draped walls. Carignac, France. Nestled beside the Dordogne River and surrounded by woodlands and meadows, it's often named among France's most beautiful villages. Its center is organized around the Church of Saint-Pierre and a former monastery. Writers and travelers in the 20th century began to highlight the area's serenity, gradually boosting its appeal. Altea, Spain. This coastal town lies in Alicante province, along Spain's eastern shoreline. Arab rule during the Middle Ages left its mark on the street layout and irrigation-based agriculture. Its elevated terrain results in sloped streets and stairways that connect various levels. At the town's highest point stands the Church of Our Lady of Consolation, crowned by a blue-tiled dome. Orbanea del Castillo, Spain. Perched inside the canyon carved by the Ebro River, surrounded by karst formations and waterfalls. It traces its roots back to the Middle Ages, when settlers used the canyon's natural defenses for protection. The streets are narrow and sometimes steep, adapting to the rugged contours of the land. Water from the spring is so clear that, as it cascades and pools, it takes on shades of turquoise and emerald. Siurana, Spain. Perched atop a cliff, this tiny medieval village is surrounded by the Mont Saint and Prades mountain range. After the Christian reconquest in the mid-12th century, it was fortified and a small settlement took shape, preserving its medieval charm. Alcazar, Spain. Set within a natural park, the village rests on a hilltop. The name Alcazar comes from the Arabic Alcazar, meaning fortress or castle. It was seized in the 11th century by King Sancho of Aragon, who converted the Islamic structures into a Christian stronghold. Castellfollit de la Roca, Spain. Rising dramatically on a volcanic cliff, created by ancient lava flows from eruptions thousands of years ago. Its elevated setting provided defensive benefits, giving rise to a medieval core centered around a castle and compact village. Béguet, Spain. located in a region of valleys and mountains leading to the higher Pyrenees, close to the French border. The road to reach it winds through steep mountain routes, heightening its feeling of seclusion. The village center features narrow streets and homes that reflect traditional Pyrenean architecture. Port de l'Est, Spain. Positioned on the slope of a rocky bluff, it overlooks the turquoise reservoir of Port de l'Est. Its streets date back to medieval times, with passageways leading to scenic outlooks. At the summit stands the Castle of San Jose, originally Arab and later rebuilt by Christians, accessible through a tunnel carved into the rock. Cudillero, Spain. This fishing village on Spain's northern coast is known for its colorful homes facing the Cantabrian Sea. It's nestled in a valley shaped like an amphitheater that slopes down toward the harbor. Despite its popularity with tourists, fishing boats still head out daily. Riglos, Spain. This tiny hamlet lies directly beneath the Mallets of Riglos, a stunning series of reddish rock formations. Over millennia, nature stacked layers of stone and gravel to form these dramatic vertical walls. Cadaqués, Spain. Located on the Cap de Creus Peninsula, the easternmost point of the Iberian Peninsula. Beyond Dali, artists like Picasso, Joan Miro, and Marcel Duchamp also passed through or drew inspiration from the Cadaqués. In the early 20th century, some locals immigrated to the Americas, returned wealthy, and built homes with designs influenced by Latin American styles. Tossa de Mar, Spain. Famous for its walled old town and small beaches with crystal clear waters. The surrounding landscape is marked by the typical vegetation of the Catalan coast. The village gained international fame after the 1951 film Pandora and the Flying Dutchman, starring Ava Gardner, was shot there. Valdemosa, Spain. perched high in the Tramuntana Mountains on Mallorca's western side. The Charterhouse of Valldemossa is the village's most iconic building, a former monastery that once housed monks and notable figures. Oak and pine forests surround the town, lending it a cool and natural setting. Frédéric Chopin and George Sand came seeking warmth to aid their health, but the winter proved damp and cold, worsening the composer's tuberculosis. Piauí, Portugal. Set in the Serra do Açor, it's known for its slate houses. The village clings to the mountainside, with steep, narrow alleys weaving through it. To contrast the dark stone, door and window frames are often painted bright blue. The white parish church with its cylindrical towers stands out against the otherwise muted tones of the town. Sanktevågar, Denmark. On the coast of Vágar, one of the main Faroe Islands, lies this picturesque fishing village. For centuries, the local economy relied on sheep farming and fishing. Grassy, moss-covered peaks and cascading waterfalls shape the dramatic landscape. Skjervasvatn Lake, with its striking optical illusion of floating above the sea, is found on this island. To the west, towering cliffs plunge straight into the Atlantic Ocean. Lungern, Switzerland. Situated in the canton of Obwalden, in the heart of the country, right on the shores of Lake Lungern. Locals primarily engage in farming, livestock raising, and tourism-related services. The lake stands out for its turquoise, crystal-clear waters, fed by mountain streams and natural springs. Kastraki, Greece. Towering rock formations rise above this village. It lies in northwestern Thessaly, central Greece, nestled at the base of the Meteora Cliffs. Many travelers choose to stay here for easy access to the trails that lead to the historic monasteries. Gossau, Austria. Located in the Gossau Valley, with the Dachstein Mountains as its dramatic backdrop. The first settlers arrived when farmers and herders came to raise livestock and tend to alpine meadows. During the warmer months, herders lead their animals to high pastures, and in the autumn, festive transhumance events celebrate the return of flower-adorned cattle. Heiligenblut, Austria. Positioned at the foot of Grosslochner, the tallest peak in Austria. According to legend, a Danish prince brought a relic here in the early 10th century that held drops of Christ's blood. Inspired by this tale, the Church of St. Vincent was built to enshrine the sacred relic. Stepansminda, Georgia. Set in the Terek River Valley, the village lies beneath the towering presence of Mount Kazbek, one of the tallest peaks in the Caucasus. Though small, it has become a key stop for travelers journeying along the Georgian military road. Local mythology links Mount Kazbek to the legend of Amirani, Georgia's Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods. Gergeti Trinity Church stands on a high plateau overlooking the town. Dating back to the 13th and 14th centuries, it features traditional Georgian architecture with a cross in square layout and a central dome. Assos, Greece. Located on an isthmus connecting the Assos Peninsula to the main body of Kefalonia. Its harbor rests in a sheltered bay, flanked by cliffs offering calm waters and natural protection. Chutnovik, Denmark. Surrounded by mountains, this village sits at the end of a bay facing the North Atlantic. Its origins trace back to the Viking and Norse settlement of the Faroe Islands during the 9th and 10th centuries. Traditional houses are built of dark or red painted wood, some topped with grass-covered roofs. Mineral del Chico, Mexico. Found in the state of Hidalgo, nestled between the Pachuco Range and dense woodlands. Enclosed by pine and oak-covered mountains, the weather tends to be cool and misty. By the 16th century, it had grown into a mining hub, focused on extracting silver and other metals. Iruja, Argentina. Perched in the high Andes within the province of Salta. It's surrounded by hills and ravines belonging to the Sierra de Santo Victoria. The terrain is rugged with steep, winding streets, climbing and descending sharply. Dillenburg, Germany. Developed around a castle built in the late 12th century by the Counts of Nassau. Timber-framed houses and cobbled lanes preserve the rural and feudal character of Hesse. The surrounding area is dotted with forests and rolling hills, crossed by scenic hiking trails. Freudenberg, Germany. These historic homes are neatly lined up, painted in striking black and white tones. After a devastating fire in 1666, the town was rebuilt with a grid layout, an uncommon feature in medieval centers. It stands out from other villages with similar plans due to the near-perfect uniformity of its blocks. Interlaken, Switzerland. Located between Lake Thun to the west and Lake Brienz to the east, its name means "between lakes." The Aare River flows through the town, linking the two bodies of water. Composer Felix Mendelssohn visited the area, drawing inspiration from its scenery. Travel writings from that era reflect its strong appeal to artists. At its heart, the town has boulevards lined with hotels and shops in classic Swiss style. Soyo, Switzerland. Perched in the Bregaglia Valley, near the Italian border. Italian painter Giovanni Segantini called it the Gateway to Paradise for the peacefulness and sublime beauty it offered. The steep slope from the valley floor to the peaks creates tiered, natural viewpoints at various levels. Ulcinj, Montenegro. Spread across a rocky bluff that juts into the sea, the town is fortified with stone houses and ancient walls. Its proximity to Albania brings a distinctive multicultural atmosphere. For centuries, it was ruled by the Ottoman Empire, which left a visible mark on its architecture through Oriental design elements. Piran, Slovenia. Located on the Adriatic coast, known for its strong Venetian architectural influences. The main square is lined with historic buildings and features a statue of Giuseppe Tartini, the renowned violinist born in town. From the old fortress walls, you can take in sweeping views of the Adriatic Sea and the Pirin Peninsula. At the town's highest point, the Baroque-style church of St. George stands watch. Telč, Czech Republic. Celebrated for its charming houses and Renaissance-inspired chateau. The historic center is anchored by a rectangular square, bordered by homes with large, elegant arcades. Molenong, India. This humble village is tucked within the state of Meghalaya. Heavy rainfall sustains its lush greenery, filled with evergreen forests and a wide range of tropical plants. Seasonal downpours peak from June to August, driven by the monsoons sweeping up from the Bay of Bengal. In this northeastern region of India, living root bridges stand out. Crafted from rubber trees, their roots are carefully guided and woven over time. Signagi, Georgia. With a strong Italian influence, it features cobblestone streets, red brick houses, and wooden balconies. For centuries, it thrived as a key trade center on the Silk Road and a hub for wine production. Orthodox churches with slender towers and tiled rooftops rise across the skyline. Zakopane, Poland. Nestled at the base of the Tatra Mountains, it's Poland's leading winter sports destination. The region has long been home to highland dwellers, particularly the Górale, an ethnic group with its own customs and attire. Pine forests cover the area, along with alpine rivers and glacial lakes. Schiendijk, Netherlands. Known for its aquatic landscape with homes lined up along dikes and yacht marinas. In medieval times, the region was a major source of peat, used as fuel. The long, narrow islands were formed in the 17th century through the excavation of tight canals to extract peat. Ossingel, Netherlands. Recognized for its traditional homes arranged in rows beside the waterways. Originally developed as a port for exporting peat. It borders Verribben-Weiden National Park, one of the largest wetland areas in Western Europe. The marshy terrain was shaped over centuries by peat harvesting and human intervention. Riva del Garda, Italy. Set on the northern edge of Lake Garda, framed by towering mountains. Its architecture blends medieval and Venetian styles. Notable landmarks include the Rocca, a moated castle, and the Appenell Tower in the main square. Fužina, Croatia. Tucked into a mountainous region, it shares the charm of an alpine village. The nearby Bayer and Lepenica lakes, both man-made, sit peacefully beside the town. Fujina is well known for celebrating New Year at noon on December 31st, a unique tradition that draws many visitors. Stabelen, Indonesia. Perched on the slopes of Mount Merapi in central Java. Homes reflect traditional Javanese architecture featuring gabled roofs and wooden details. Volcanic ash enriches the land, supporting the intensive farming of vegetables, maize, tubers, and coffee. La Roche-en-Ardenne, Belgium. Located in the country's southeast with castle ruins towering over the town. Legend tells of a ghostly princess named Berth, who roams the fortress on certain nights. The Uthe River runs through the village, with riverside paths designed for strolling. Cochem, Germany. It sits along the Moselle River, overlooked by a majestic hilltop castle. While medieval in origin, the current structure dates back to the 19th century. Tiered vineyards blanket the hillsides, forming a patchwork of greens and golds. The riverside promenade is lined with homes and buildings facing the water. Nong Khia, Laos. A riverside town framed by dramatic karst landscapes. Lush forested peaks surrounded the area, creating a breathtaking setting. Human presence along the Nam O River spans centuries, thanks to fertile soils and navigable waters. Monsoon rains nourish the landscape, supporting towering trees, bamboo groves, and scattered farmland. Luoxiago, China. Its red-hued terrain and terraced fields leave a lasting impression. Iron oxides in the soil oxidize over time, giving the land its striking orange-red color. According to local legend, gods colored the earth to mark the most fertile plots for farmers. Vong Vieng, Laos. Limestone cliffs rise dramatically around this village. What began as a quiet settlement evolved into a hotspot for backpackers. The cliffs stand out not only for their beauty, but also for their archaeological and historical importance. With every step, we've discovered that the world's most beautiful villages aren't just seen, they're felt. The world keeps turning, full of hidden corners waiting to amaze us. See you on the next adventure.